Welcome to the Real Estate Show on WGBF AM with your host, Charlie Butler. This is where you'll learn to sell your home quickly and for more money. And now, the host of the Real Estate Show, the guy who guarantees to sell your home or he'll buy it himself, Charlie Butler.
Good Sunday morning, Tri-State. This is the Real Estate Show with Charlie Butler. And, of course, as every Sunday, my producer and chief troublemaker, Leslie Morgan.
I like that.
Chief troublemaker?
Sure. I have a reputation to keep up.
That's right under the boss's title. That's right under LaDon's title. That's
hard to, considering that we're comparing me to you when you seem to be what I have found out amongst everybody that you bring in, that you're the ultimate troublemaker. Well, all the stories that you tell.
Well, not that, and I always start it, though. Not that I want to start anything, but.
You just have so many stories, all the jobs you've had and all the experiences and the people that you've met. Sometimes there's things I got to edit out. That's just how much trouble you are. One thing
that Leslie and I talk about a lot is that I started out of college in radio, so I was in the radio towards the end when radio was still wild, the way people,
right,
the WKRP type radio.
We're better behaved now, and at least if we're not, we have the liquor cabinet underneath the desk.
Yeah,
that's not true. Well, it is true. Actually, it is.
Well,
it's not a cabinet. Okay. It's just a couple bottles, but still.
That's okay.
That's okay.
And that is much tamer than what it used to be.
Oh yeah. I wasn't in radio at that time, so.
And you're not old enough. You were still.
This is my chapter 10 in my life. I didn't get in radio till I was 40, or a little bit before I turned 40. So.
I know you've taught theater in the past. Mm-hmm. And you were talking about how you miss that. Are you going to start teaching again? I'm
going to start teaching again. Not anywhere specifically. I'm just going to do group lessons. Secure a venue, a space where I can teach kids again. Theater. I say theater, and you're thinking, okay, so it's like teaching them to be an actor in the movies or commercials or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I have a certain set of skills that allows me, because of my love and passion for theater, to teach kids about life while using theater. So they have no idea they're actually learning. They're just having fun. So between acting, theater, and speech and improv, it's really teaching them team building skills. It's teaching them public speaking skills, critical thinking, skills that they can use later in life to be successful. And sports has its place, and there's arts classes that my own kids went to, but the specific art of theater is so much more. It also teaches you empathy toward other people, and I feel like I have a certain program that I used to teach 15 years ago that really helps kids become more productive and happier adults.
So when are you going to start doing this again?
I have secured a venue in Owensboro. It's a new space, and so it's not quite finished yet. So as soon as that space is finished, I'll be scheduling classes, group classes, and private lessons. If you have a child that's really shy or really has a hard time getting up in front of the class and talking or whatever, I can really help that. And in Newburgh, I am also trying to secure a space. I'm in talks with that right now just to see what days are available to me to use the space. So it'll be hopefully within the next month that I'll have a schedule that parents can look at and sign up for. And I realize kids are really busy, so I want to be as accessible and easy to work with as possible, because I really think that this is important. We work their bodies a lot, and we teach them musical instruments, but what we're not working on is how they interact with other people.
Yeah, that's so true. And if you, I know in my own case, I'm very shy, of course.
Well, yes. Yeah. But, you really could have used my classes, Charlie. Actually, I might bring you in as a teacher.
Brought me, but seriously though, and I know a lot of people have thought this way. You go through high school, things like that, and you really don't learn anything about. I feel, even though I've never used my college degree for what it was meant to be, I learned so much in college. I just what I'm trying to say? How, in interacting with people and some, you know what I'm trying to say?
There's things that you learn in school that aren't necessarily a part of like the reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yeah.
Those are important. Don't get me wrong, but there are things that teachers teach you that you don't realize you learn through clubs or through extracurriculars. Definitely through sports, and even band. There's things that your kids learn just being involved in more than one activity. That's what I hate when I hear of parents saying, "Well, my child only plays soccer." But I know your child is more than soccer. That doesn't mean that they're not really good, but let's develop them as a whole person. And that's just always been my philosophy. Because even when I worked in a high school, I tried to work around all the sports schedules. If you give me 25% of your time, they can take the rest, but give me all, be present. And really have a good time, and then we will, and then you'll learn a lot of stuff.
So Leslie, how you said you secured a venue in Owensboro? So how can people reach out to you that are interested?
Well, there's a Facebook page that I started just to kind of get people interested. Some of my former parents and former students who are now parents themselves. Oh my gosh! And then they could kind of spread the word because I think that I think they all had a really positive experience. And so there's a Facebook page called Creative Direction, Acting and Improv, and I named it that because I feel like creatively. A creative mind can give you direction in life, and whether it be selling real estate or being a part of an auction or whatever it is, it helps you, go from I'm just an awkward teen to I can run a business, or I can get up in front of my employees, or I can interview well for my next job, and that's all a part of what I'm trying to do for kids.
Oh, and that sounds great. So go to Leslie's Facebook page.
CreativeDirection.com, too.
CreativeDirection.com.
Yeah.
And also, I was in Princeton the other day.
Yeah.
And I'll leave the names out because we're doing,
protect the innocent.
No, we're doing some business.
That's okay.
And he may not be. It's not quite public yet. But one of the guys I was meeting said, "We listen to you and Leslie every Sunday."
That's good.
And so he said, "We love you guys."
Does he know me personally? Because I used to teach in Princeton. I know a lot of people there.
I don't know.
Okay. I didn't know. Maybe he knew me.
He didn't act like he did.
In my former life.
No, he didn't act like that. But yeah. So just by Bob, here's shout out to you. We appreciate.
Hey, Bob.
We appreciate you listening. And also, speaking of awkward people, we've got DJ Nevil with us today.
How's it going, guys?
He's not awkward at all.
DJ is DJ's with Ralph Smith Auctions and with personal property auctions, real estate auctions. Pretty well anything you want to auction, right, DJ?
Business liquidations, farm sales, land, whatever you need sold, we can get it sold for you. So, DJ, quickly, you want to go through the process of it for those that don't know everybody I think knows what an auction is.
But we see the signs. I'm talking for someone who's a layman who has no idea anything about anything really except radio and some theater. Is that we see the signs, but what leads up to that process of putting the sign in the yard saying this is when this auction's going to be?
Well, folks, people have estate auctions where somebody passes away, their loved ones or whatever, and we can go in and sell their personal property or auction off their real estate, one item to a whole entire estate. Some people just have a few pieces of furniture and they can bring it to our consignment auction barn. We can sell it for them.
And when is that sale, DJ?
We do those typically every Wednesday at 5:30 in the evening. They're off the north side of Evansville off Crattsville Road. So,
can you see the items ahead of time?
Yeah, you can come in the day before. You can get online and see the picture of the items on our Auction Zip site. So you go to ralphsmithauction.com and it'll pull you up and you can see our other listings that we have and stuff we have coming up. We're licensed in Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois, Tennessee, and Texas. I do a lot of grocery store, food equipment auctions. We do those and real successful with those. So if you need stuff like that done too, we can get you took care of in that avenue as well. But pretty well sell pretty well anything. Me and Charlie have worked together on some real estate
Yes,
deals.
we have. And actually, DJ, he'll travel. For those that don't know, DJ and I and Chris McBride sold a vacant bank that one of our local companies had moved out of in Winchester, Indiana, which was about 6 hours, something like that.
Yeah, 6 hours away. It brought a good price.
It did.
It was worth the drive.
About 300.
And I call the funny part of the story is I called my client that owned the building, and the price he was expecting. We had about 3 or 4 offers about what we had been telling him, and they were mainly other banks, because those big, I guess what's valuable, those big vaults stay there. Those big.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so those things are. So we get a call from, and so we send out a highest and best, which strictly is by a certain date, give us your highest and best offer. And so we get a call from an attorney representing one of the banks. He said, if you'll rescind that, we'll raise our offer by $100,000. And so I call my client. It's on April 1st. And he says,
Charlie.
It was April 1st.
He said, and it's a longtime client of mine. He says, Charlie, I'm busy. Don't F with me today.
He didn't believe you.
And hung the phone up.
Oh, did he?
And so I had to call him back. I said, don't hang up, okay? He goes, you weren't kidding, were you? I said, no. He says, well, hurry up and get over here so I can sign that. We can get it back.
Luckily, he picked up the next time you called.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
We went to we put signs up, I guess, 3 weeks before and advertised for this auction, and we went up to do an open house. Another realtor in Charlie's office, Chris McBride, went up there with me, and before we got back, we weren't 45 minutes out of Winchester, and we had 3 people making offers on it before we even got 45 minutes out of there. And it went from anywhere from 100 to 200, and we ended up selling it for $440, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
What we ended up getting out of it. So it was a good day for Charlie's client and us too. So,
yeah.
We sold it prior to auction, and what made that rare was Winchester. I don't know if people know about silver and gold. There was a special safe in there that they kept silver in this vault, and that's what made this bank bring what it did, was just for the vault. To keep silver in there.
So it was like a special climate control, probably. And
something,
okay.
yeah,
right.
yeah. I forget. I had forgot that, DJ, but I remembered that after you said that.
It was the vault what made the.
So a normal vault probably would have brought in a good amount, but this made it extra special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So DJ, people see the signs in the yard, and Leslie, you probably seen absolute auction. Mm-hmm. Okay. What's the difference between an absolute auction and a regular auction for those people listening?
Absolute means it sells to the highest bidder, no reserve. So if you show up that day and you bid your price on that property and you're the high bidder, you bought it. Reserved is subject to the seller's approval. Where, if it doesn't say absolute, all auctions in the state of Indiana are sold with reserve unless they say otherwise, which means absolute.
So that means if it's, let's say it's my parents' estate, mm-hmm. and so you sell it reserve, mm-hmm. or it's a reserve auction, then if you sell it, I still can say, I don't really want to give that away.
Yeah, it's up to you whether it sells or not.
You can counter back. Yep. You say, I would do this, or you say no, of course.
Okay, yeah.
But you can say, no, I can't take that, but I can take this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
it's a negotiating tool, or you can change your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Absolute auctions typically bring more. Everybody knows they're going to sell, so you get a bigger attendance at your sales. So, sometimes you can take a hit, but most times they pretty well protect themselves. Mm-hmm. You get a lot of attendance at an absolute auction.
But in theory, in absolute auction, is you could someone, let's say you're auctioning something, Leslie, somebody could offer $1, say for $100,000 house, for example, and they would buy it in an absolute auction.
So is that riskier?
Yep.
Yes, of course.
That's the risk you take.
Right.
real estate in today's market, I mean, nobody's going to buy.
No, there's no risk like that. No, there's not.
That's extreme, but it's still a risk.
Yeah, it's still a risk where you could get less. You know, in some markets today, the real estate market is so good, it would be, you know, I can't imagine. You know, I mean, I'm sure there are situations where house or something is just in horrible condition or something. But and it rained and the investors didn't come out that would normally buy it. You know,
those are actually the best days, rainy days. Nobody thinks that anybody's going to show. That's when you get a better attendance. And I've had some of my best auctions in the pouring rain, a snowstorm, versus a nice sunny day. So
that's always the way it is. Oh yeah, even in the restaurant business, I used to work in the restaurant business. It was like you'd think that if there was a blizzard and you didn't have any heat, they wouldn't come eat. Oh, they came. More people came. It's like they didn't have heat either, so they only wanted to bundle together or something.
When I as we've talked before, when I worked for Rogers at the mall stores, the rain in past jewelry companies I'd worked for, rainy days were always your biggest days in malls.
Oh yeah.
Now that's they're getting inside.
But to think they're standing around outside in the rain.
Well, no, but I can. What DJ said, I work with a lot of investors, and these guys say, "Hey, this weather's supposed to be really bad today." So go and represent us and just call us on this. And I'm sure there are other guys showing up thinking the same thing. Yeah. This weather's going to be bad, so there won't be anybody there. You know, might get a deal today, and. You know, and it's funny, and I used to think that too, but the more his auctions and others I went to, it's like, no, it's usually,
where are these people coming from?
Yeah, you're not supposed to be here. You know, I was supposed to have you outsmarted, you know.
I know. Didn't turn out that way.
But so DJ, what's the craziest item you ever auctioned?
Charlie, I don't know. I've found some crazy stuff that I probably can't mention on the radio here. But
I have a friend who's an auctioneer in Owensboro. Yeah. She tells some crazy stories. Not safe for radio.
Yeah, not safe. But
no.
I mean,
she's texted me pictures.
We've auctioned off airplanes.
We'll show the pictures on the radio.
Oh no,
okay?
we won't.
on the
radio, I get it, Charlie.
Okay.
I guess an airplane.
I thought you were blonde for a minute.
Was probably the craziest thing. You never think you're going to get to sell an airplane, and you do. So that's probably.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know you sold an airplane.
Yeah, I've sold an airplane. We've sold pretty well anything and everything. So antiques, and I mean, you find a lot of rare stuff.
Because you're the one, or people who work for you, or you guys, you go in, and so it's just there it is. So it's going through drawers and basement nooks and crannies, and so the stuff you find.
Yeah, we go through, and our company we deal with the trash all the way up to selling whatever's sellable and clear it out and make it ready, presentable, either if they're going to auction the house or if they're going to give it to Charlie or another realtor or whatever. We try to make them right and make them presentable to get the houses sold. So we go through and do what our job is, and either sell it from start to finish, or if we're just doing a personal property, we get that all done. And then a lot of times Charlie will sell the houses, so we'll go in there and clear them out for him and his other realtors.
Yeah, they do a great job. For anybody that needs something like that done, DJ's people do a great job in getting the houses ready and getting everything out of there. They really do, and are very reasonably priced too.
Yeah.
It'd be worth the cost. I remember my dad cleaning out my grandparents' house with his sisters. Oh my gosh,
I know.
It took forever.
Yeah.
And they hated every second of it. And you didn't want that. You wanted them to have good memories there, and their last memories are like, oh my gosh, how many paper towels do you need? You know, that kind of thing. Just
exactly.
And so it'd be definitely worth the price to have somebody come in and just get that taken care of for you.
Yeah, it definitely is, and these guys DJ and his guys do a really, really good job at that. And it is a family affair at Ralph Smith too.
Yeah, my grandfather started a little over 40 years ago, so I'm third generation auctioneer, and hopefully I have two young boys that hopefully they'll take it over one day and keep it going. But auction's a good way to liquidate stuff and get people helped out.
Okay, so when you say auctioneer, does that mean are you the fast talker?
20 people would go 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 50, 75, 100.
I knew you were.
Yay! Well, I was waiting. I mean, like, he didn't really say he was that guy, but
I'm the guy.
Then I thought I better ask.
I'm the guy.
I love
There's
it.
others out there, but you want to call me if you want the price.
That could be the advertising right there.
I love
if
that.
you want it sold, I'm the guy.
I'm the guy.
So since
That's great.
you know what, we could actually auction off a date with Leslie.
I'm
right.
married.
Well, you told me your husband doesn't know. You told me your husband doesn't always listen. So if he does, what he did?
We could sell her.
Quentin,
I'm not saying that there's not going to be a plan C at some point, but yeah, that's he is my second husband, so you just never know.
Quentin, if you're listening, I'm only joking because he's bigger than me and he gets up. Yeah, and
he knows
works
you
out-
personally.
He works out and stuff. And he knows
He'll
where to
show up
find
at
me.
your office.
Yeah, so
He may be wanting to get rid of me. I don't know. He may
So-
call you up.
so that's what we should.
He might be the high bidder too.
Yeah.
No, I know he won't.
No.
I think if he got the right price, he'd sell me in a heartbeat.
Quentin would want to do an absolute auction.
He would. He totally would. He'd take $1. He wouldn't even. He wouldn't even care. I'll have to have him listen to this show.
So DJ, what do you have? Let's see. Today is Sunday. What day is today, Leslie? Sunday the what?
Sunday. It is the.
28th, I think. Yeah.
Do you ever have those ads just pop up on your phone? I can't stand that. Oh my gosh! Here we go. It is the 28th.
8th. That's what I thought.
Good job, Charlie.
So
28.
Sunday. What auction do you have coming up?
We've got one the 30th up on Lincoln Avenue. Nice investment property. Be in Newburgh. Be a real estate auction. Be a good investment.
I got to get out there. If you got that on
Yep,
eBox,
it's on the site. And,
Okay.
eBox, you can get in there and check
All right.
it out. And then we've got a good personal property on-site auction coming up out off Upper Mount Vernon out by USI. I think that'll be May 11th on that. And then
is that just personal property?
personal property on that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they had already sold the house before I got in contact with them, and they gave it away. That's the sad part. But anyway, Mark.
Did you tell him you're that guy? Like, come on.
I told them, but they didn't sold it. They already sold it. So.
So DJ, and speaking of people selling the houses, one thing I guess we should get out there is as far as the seller goes, your commission is zero.
Yeah, I charge a buyer's premium for the real estate. So if the only thing you'll be out will be the advertisement to advertise for your auction, but zero commission to the seller. So if you need something auctioned off as far as real estate, give us a call or get a hold of Charlie, and we'll work together and
Absolutely.
help you out.
So DJ, if someone out there is thinking about an auction, wants to talk to you about it, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
My cell phone, which is 812-449-5408, would be the best way to get a hold of me.
And if you look them up online, it's RalphSmithAuction.com.
Ralph Smith Auction, yep.
So, always. I know you've always got a lot going on.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
Yeah.
We got a nice, I think June 1st, we got a grocery store we're going to liquidate in Lawrenceville, Illinois. So if any listeners out there need any restaurant or walk-in coolers, which you might need at times, so just get a hold of us. We'll have a good sale there. So
that's Lawrenceville's not too far from where you grew up, or it's in
Terre Haute.
Yeah, it's just across the river.
about 30 minutes from you, probably.
Yeah.
Just across the river in Vincennes, of Vincennes, yeah. Known for their great high school basketball program there. Like, there was a guy there, been the '70s coach there, named Ron Felling, who later became Bob Knight's assistant at Indiana, and won five state championships in about a 10 or 12 year period of time.
Did you say your family's from here? Like you're born and raised in Evansville?
No, I was actually born in Columbus, Ohio. I moved
that's
here
too bad.
later. I'm a Buckeye.
Ohio State.
My grandparents they were from Kentucky, but lived here.
You sound
practically
like you
their
might
whole
be
life.
from Kentucky.
Yeah, I travel everywhere.
Well,
You pick up some Texas
can't-
along the way, and
so you're just going to insult our guest now?
That's
huh?
what
I
she's
love
doing,
that
isn't it?
accent. My husband's from Kentucky.
Hey, we're going to sell her for
I
$5.
love. Yeah, he's not going to sell me for $1 now.
There
Great,
you go.
great. The
Those
value has gone down.
of you out there that have listened to Leslie Morgan in the morning on WKDQ,
I like his accent.
For many years. Now is the time DJ is going to be auctioning a date off with Leslie.
Get your bid in
For
quick,
50
folks.
cents.
I wonder where the guy that would pay 50 cents. I wonder where he'll take.
I don't know.
Date.
I met my husband on Match.com, and my second husband. First husband we met at work. Don't do that. And I had gone on several dates before that. And one guy, he may have been from around Lawrenceville. He was a banker. He came to Evansville. I was here visiting, taking my kids to their dad. And we went on a date to Re-Roz, and I thought we had a great time. And then when he took me back to my car, I acted like, well, where are we going to go now? And he's like, we're not going anywhere. Like, you're a little too much for me. And I was like, what does that mean? I thought, what? Is that bad? And he's like, you're great, but you're great, but so that's what I feel like right now. Like, we were going to sell you for $1, and now it's going to be half $1.
Well, now that the guys have heard that the banker said you were a little too much for him.
Well, he's a banker too.
The bids might go up, DJ, right there.
I mean, he was a banker.
Okay. Okay. One of those
he sits in fluorescent light and works with the numbers.
As is where is,
There's a lot of dents need repaired, so I don't know. Is.
But DJ, anything else anything else you got coming up?
That's about all I got coming up for right now. Just the consignment auctions and a few real estate deals coming up, and some I'm working on that don't want to put out yet till I get the dotted line.
Yeah, absolutely. So consignment auctions every Wednesday. And DJ, you want to give me your contact information one more time?
812-449-5408.
Remember, he's the guy.
All right.
I'm the guy. I'm that guy.
That's the guy.
That guy.
That guy.
Give him a little bit of that guy again.
20 people to go 30, 40, 40, 49, 50, 50, 50, 75, 100. Sold. We got $100.
I'm buying. I don't know what he's selling, but I'm buying.
I think you're on a date with
I told you I like his accent.
I think
You said I didn't.
I think that guy that when we were trying to get Evie a date, the farmer that that sent his picture, I bet he'd been $100 for the date.
He might
get 45 cents.
He might. That's a tough sell, though. Like I said, there's a lot of repairs that need to happen.
Anyway, I'm not going there because we'll get in trouble, which we usually do. But
so, how can they get a hold of you, Charlie?
They can get a Charlie Butler team. If we can't sell it, we'll buy it. I always start to say that.
That's
backwards.
your tagline. You should know that.
Yeah, I know. I really should. And
if you want to ask Charlie a question,
you can call me on my cell at 812-499-7758. Our Charlie Butler Team Facebook page, or charliebutlerteam.com. You can reach us any of those ways, and we'll be glad to help you, whether it be residential, commercial. Listings are great right now. I mean, as DJ and I were talking, I mean, it's
a hot market.
It's selling really, really quick. So if you're out there needing to list your house, give us a call, 812-499-7758. And if you're unhappy with our service, you can fire us at any time. How much time we got left?
We have about a minute and a half.
Do we really? Mm-hmm. That's unusual for us to have time left. Because we usually are pushing.
I know. I got to cut it down usually.
Yeah.
You sure you don't have another story? Oh, whoops! We're out of time.
Oh, yeah. You start to sound like people on my team. They just walk out. They say, "I've heard this. I've heard this. I've been with you for 15 years. I've heard this story at least 30 times."
I actually have not heard only the story you tell about you and I, which I was there. But the other stories, they're all new. Like, to me, still, I'll let you know when they're not, though.
There was. I just can't come up with a story on demand here. I mean, you
have to be motivated to do so. Well, you got less than a minute now.
He'll come up with one here.
I was thinking about.
This will be to be continued. Just start telling a story, and then we'll just cut it off. You can pick it up next weekend.
Let's go back to auctioning you off, okay? Which we haven't talked about, Leslie. Leslie, by the way, is the morning show host at WKDQ, for those that don't listen. Considered by one West Coast advertising agency to be the most influential voice in the tri-state.
Good or bad. Whatever I'm saying coming out of my mouth. Yeah, I'm on actually all day now. So you can hear me starting at 6 a.m., but I am on the air until 3. That's a lot of Leslie, but whatever.
So a lot of Leslie all day long.
All day long.
Well, that'll help the auction
He's that
right there.
guy,
You can
and you
get
get
you a
me.
lot of Leslie.
A lot of Leslie.
No, they're not buying now for sure. For sure they're not buying.
Oh,
Wrap it up.
All right. For DJ Nevil, Leslie Morgan's Charlie Butler, have a great Sunday.
You've been listening to The Real Estate Show on WGBF AM with the guy who guarantees to sell your home or he'll buy it himself, Charlie Butler. Join us every week at this time to find out how to sell your home quickly and for more money. For more information, email cbutler@kw.com or visit charliebutlerteam.com. Team.com. Team.com. Team.com.